everyone, my name is Gabrielle Corradino, and I'm with NOAA's Office of Education. I'm a biological oceanographer, and I study plankton. One of the most common tools that we use in the field to capture plankton is simply a net. So each plankton net has a ring at the top, and the water and the particles and the plankton flow right in, and the particles and the plankton all come into the center part of the net here, and the larger particles are going to be captured while the water as well as the smaller particles are able to pass through. So this mesh that you see here can range in size dependent on the different plankton that we're sampling for. Plankton range in size from the smallest bacteria all the way up to the largest jellyfish. So it's very important that we understand the size of the organisms that we're trying to sample for. Similarly, for today's mulled cider, we are also using different size colanders to replicate this. This is a medium-sized colander, which is going to be able to capture any medium-sized particles as well as the larger particles. So things like the cinnamon sticks, the clumps of the clove, and the allspice are all going to be captured in this larger colander while the water and the smaller particles flow through. For the smaller sieve here, we are going to be able to capture the smallest of the particles. Things like the orange pulp and the bits of clove that are left behind are all going to be captured while the cider flows through. So this is just an example of how some really common kitchen gadgets that we use can also be used to replicate our household plankton sampling. So thank you so much, and make sure to check out more from NOAA's Office of Education.
This is just at a simmer, so I'm going to turn this off. And now we're going to take this and strain it through the two different size mesh. Okay, so we're going to strain it first in the larger mesh. See that it has captured a lot of the larger particles, including the orange and the clove and the allspice, and it smells amazing. Okay, so now we have our first strain liquid, and now we're going to be using a little bit of a finer mesh. So this is going to capture the smaller particles, so things like the pulp that have gone through, maybe some smaller bits of spice and things like this. And so this is going to represent the smaller plankton net that is going to capture the smallest of the organisms. So just very gently pour through. You can see we are starting to capture some of the particles that the first one missed, but all of that liquid is still going through, is still passing through. So we still have that second pass through of the pulp and the little bit of the smaller spice. And so now what we have is this beautiful, hot, ready to share apple cider, mulled apple cider. So you should just grab a mug and enjoy.